Thanks for watching Drum Hanging with the Hammer. That is going to be the name of my new live stream show, which I will be trying to air every couple weeks. Now, sometimes the show will have guests. Sometimes the show will be a live question and answer show. And I will designate that at the beginning. This weekend, on March 7th, when I did my first Ask Earl Anything live, which is now called Drum Hanging with the Hammer, what I did was I invited a few guests very, very last minute, and I was blessed to have Tate, Berkey, and Chadwick visit me and be a part of my live stream that happened on March 6th. So this is a clip where we got into a discussion about playing exact, playing what's right for the music, using musical taste and wisdom to know what to play in the situations you're in. And I thought it was a good discussion. It was very close to the end, so some of you had dropped off. And I thought I would just clip this little piece out and give you an opportunity to hear what we were talking about and what we were saying about playing musically and playing what's right for the music. Now, we were talking in the context of a drum cover, but it got into the context of playing with musicians out in the real world on bandstands and gigs and using your ears. And I think there's a lot here that any young drummer or older drummer can gain from a little wisdom. So thanks for hanging with me on Saturday. Those of you that did, be looking for future shows. There will not be one next week, but the week after I'll probably do another one of these shows. And next time it will be called Drum Hanging with the Hammer. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the clip. And if you've done any kind of cover band stuff, and I've done tons of it, where I had to copy some other drummer, you basically have to play what you hear and break it down, be as faithful as you possibly can to the patterns, the kick patterns, the snare patterns, but you're not going to get every fill, and you're not going to do everything exactly like they play it, because that's not who you are, and I do this. The other thing is, when I'm playing, like I play a lot in church. When I'm playing with guys learning church music, and matter of fact, that's why I don't play a lot of church, the worship covers here. There's guys that do that. I have friends on YouTube that are the worship drummer guys, and they do all the Hillsongs exact. They know every single part, and they play everything exact. The problem is when you play in church with musicians and you don't have a backing track, if the guitar player is not playing exact like on the record, guess what? You're going to adjust your part. That's called using your ears, by the way. And using your ears is how we make music, right? We make music by listening to what we hear. So if the bass player isn't playing exactly, laying it in exactly like the guy on the record did, you might have to adapt your part a little bit. And that's what I'm known for, is being able to have the ears to pick that up and make the change.
That's the difference in knowledge and wisdom. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense. Knowledge and wisdom.
That's the difference. You're explaining that difference. And you can have a ton of knowledge, but until I got out of college and went on the road with you, really playing, that's where wisdom comes from, is all those crazy gigs that give me stories that have worst gig evers behind them,
Right.
That's where the wisdom comes from. And you choose better parts. I think so.
You're not married to the part. I took a lesson with John Robinson during COVID. That was one of the highlights of COVID for me, was John Robinson. And John watched a couple of my videos. I sent them to him because I wanted to know how I played. And I did one of them they were all songs he played on too. I didn't just send him any songs. I sent him ones that he played on. And one was Back in the High Life. And he said to me, he goes, "I like your interpretation of the song. I'm glad you didn't play it like I played it." That showed him something, that I was not stuck in a box of trying to copy him. Because there's nothing a teacher can do with you if all you want to do is copy. I mean, copying is great, and it's important when you're young to learn to play exact. But eventually your personality has to get into it. When you're my age, if you don't have some personality in there, I think there's something wrong. You never really picked up the concepts, because that's what these drummers do. They're giving you concepts to grow and learn. It's a vocabulary. It goes back to the flurry conversation. I don't know if any of you guys are on the Gregory Hutchison flurry conversation, but
I saw that video. I haven't had the chance to watch it and see what it's all about.
It's worth watching Gregory Hutchison go off on all the Instagram drummers that are saying they're jazz drummers playing tons of stuff. when
Yeah.
he's a real jazz drummer that has vocabulary. He's learned the vocabulary being a jazz drummer. So he studied Max, he studied Elvin, he studied Tony, you know, and he's just not blowing linear riffs all over the place, which are really cool, by the way. And I wish I could play linear riffs like some of these guys do on Instagram. I really wish I had the chops. But you know what? I don't have time to do that anymore. And maybe you do, Tate, right now. I mean, you got great chops, but you seem like you use your you've developed a vocabulary too with all the rudiments you've learned and things. That's how you build your vocabulary. So what we're talking about wisdom, we're talking about musicality and utilizing those tools we have.
Yeah, I mean, when you're playing tunes, even if it's just, you know, whether it's a drum cover or a gig where you're playing in a cover band or whatever, it's the difference between just copying and being authentic. You know, you can be authentic and still play, you know, different things. And that's the direction that I've really taken with my covers, is that, like, yeah, I might not play every single note that Danny played, but like the important thing is that because I'm playing a song that he played, I sound like that I have that authentic jazz rock sound for a Chicago tune, or that authentic funk Tower of Power type sound when I'm doing a Garibaldi cover, or whatever the case means. And you develop that personality from everything that you've listened to and studied. You know, it doesn't just, you know, your personality will always come out, but there's got to be some sort of basis for that. You know, it's a language. You don't learn you don't just come out and you can speak. You learn how to speak from hearing other people talk. And that's where your personality comes from, the people that you've heard talk for years and years and years. Yep. It's no different than who you've listened to play the drums. It's that correlation is the best I can think of. And my teacher, Justin Faulkner, here at Temple, has really like ensued on that too. It's, you know, you learn that language by listening to those players, and you can't just get that language from you know, working out of books. That can certainly help with that, but you got to listen. If you're not listening, you're not doing it right. You know,
and listening is the key to the whole thing. And when you're on a bandstand playing with other musicians, you don't want to throw the lead singer out by throwing in some huge choppy thing. Especially if she's struggling to get find where the rhythm is, and she's kind of like all over the time. You know, you want to set her up. You want to basically do one of those Pat Boone, Debbie Boones into that thing. You don't want to go and where she's like, now she's totally missing it, you know, and the whole band is somewhere else. That's the difference. But when you're on Instagram, it sure looks cool to do all that, you know, I call it vomiting over everything. You know, that's cool. It's great. Feels good. But Pat Boone, Debbie Boone is probably the right fill half the darn time if you're playing in a pocket gig, you know? What do you think, Chad?
Have you not seen Insta Choppers playing a pocket gig? Have you not seen that?
No, I've not seen that one.
I have some Instagram cats from Japan and China that follow me, and I follow them, and they are monster Insta Choppers, monster. And I saw them upload a video the other day that I thought would be kind of cool. I'm like, all right, they're playing Uptown Funk. I can't wait to see this. Goodness gracious. I thought I'd play a lot of notes. That was the craziest thing I'd ever seen, was all those going the three different hats over some of those parts that it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Go try to find the Insta Choppers doing covers. I'm trying to find them for my Mad Cowbell cover show. Yeah. I want to get Insta Choppers on there because it'll blow people's minds to hear things done like that. Yeah. The newest one that everybody jumped into was the one a few weeks ago with Tears for Fears. Did y'all see this one? Yeah. That was wild. It offended your ear to listen to all the people play like that, and to play that unusual pattern on top of that 6/8 groove of Tears for Fears. It was mind-blowing. Which one?
See if this works.
Yeah, there were a ton of people that did it, and a ton of famous drummers did it too, because it is incredibly hard what they were doing over that. But it just ruins the song. Yeah, it wrecks it. I musically overplay, but I try not to instant chop too much. I try not to, because it kind of does blur up. Once you go past 16-note triplets, it really, really goes so fast that if other things are in the song, you won't hear those notes. It just
Earl,
so fast.
Go to your go to your StreamYard screen. There we go. Okay, let's see if the sound shares for this.
Oh, he
looks
doesn't.
cool though.
Yep.
I can't get the sound though. That's interesting though that I could do that. There's a lot you can do with this StreamYard. I'm going to tell you that right now. By the way, I promised my wife that I would be out of this by 11. So, you know, that's how that works. You know what I mean? You got to do what's right for the family.
It's all right, man.
But,
I'm in the Central Time, so I'm good.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah.
You're good. But guys, thank you so much for being on today. I mean, this was super impromptu. I just sent you guys invitations. I also sent Mike Frazano one, but he was on the other day. This StreamYard does work, and I'd like to do this again individually, you know, with each of you guys. And Tate, maybe we can do one for your channel if you want to do one. I'd love to do one with you.
Yeah. I've done some live streams before. I just find that I don't have enough people that want to get on. You know, if you don't have people to get on and talk to, it's not worth it. The couple that I've done have just been such flops because I end up just sitting on there and talking to myself. And then I just delete them afterwards because I'm like, nobody's going to watch this anyways.
Well, and that's what I was afraid of too, by the way. But I have some guys that said to me, I threw the question out on my YouTube channel. I said, listen, if I do this, would you watch? I want to thank everybody that's in the audience watching today. And I know a lot of guys will watch it on the backside of this too. So, and hopefully it'll get you some more subscribers. I hope. You know, that's part of the game. That's part of the game here. Because I'm about helping everybody out here, man. We're all part of the same family here. The drumming community is the drumming community, and I'm all about watching the Insta Choppers as much as watching anybody else. I watch them all. Nothing bad about it, you know. But I'd like to do this again with both of you at some point when you want to do it. But this was so impromptu but the whole thing with making this work was amazing this week. I figured out StreamYard because Tate said it to me. Mike Frazano said try StreamYard. And it works. It really does. And there's a lot of cool things we can do with it. So thank you guys for being on the show today.
You know it.
Appreciate it. And let's stay in touch on YouTube. So I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to say one more goodbye to my guys. Bye, Tate. And bye, Chad. Thanks.